The vast majority of Americans do not believe that Ukraine is more to blame for the war waged against it by Russia, reported by a Reuters Ipsos poll conducted on the 3rd to the 4th of March. About details, 70% of respondents said they didn't think Ukraine was more to blame for the war, while only 7% did. 23% either did not know or did not answer the question of whether Ukraine is more to blame for the war with Russia. 81% of Democratic respondents said Ukraine was not more responsible for the war's outbreak, while 62% of Republicans agreed. In contrast, 11% of Republican respondents feel Ukraine is mostly to blame for the conflict. It is absolutely outrageous that some Republicans still fail to recognize the undeniable truth. Russia is the aggressor, the invader, the martyr. Ukraine is fighting for its survival, defending its people, its land, and its sovereignty against a barbaric, unprovoked attack. And yet, an appalling 11% of Republican respondents have the audacity to blame Ukraine for this war. Blame the victim, while Russian missiles rain down on civilians, while children are kidnapped, while entire cities are reduced to rubble. This level of ignorance or complicity is beyond disgraceful. How can anyone with a shred of morality look at the mass graves in Bucha, the terror in Mariupol, the daily shelling of Ukrainian homes, and say Ukraine is to blame? This is not just a misunderstanding. It is either deliberate misinformation or an outright betrayal of truth and justice. The poll also revealed that Americans are divided on whether the United States should receive a share of Ukrainian minerals in exchange for its support, a proposal that Donald Trump has advocated. Reagan must be rolling in his grave. Democrat Senator Slotkin on Trump's attitude to Russia. Democratic Senator Elisa Slotkin has criticized U.S. President Donald Trump's attitude to Russia's war against Ukraine, adding that President Ronald Reagan, whose phrase "peace through strength" is repeated by Trump, would be shocked, reported by European Pravda with reference to the Washington Post. Next quote from Slotkin after Trump's speech at Congress.
President Trump loves to say peace through strength. That's actually a line he stole from Ronald Reagan. But let me tell you, after the spectacle that just took place in the Oval Office last week, a spat between Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy, Reagan must be rolling in his grave.
The senator added that as a child born during the Cold War, she was grateful that Reagan was in power in the 1980s and not Trump, because Trump would have lost us the Cold War. Slotkin framed the Democratic Party's response to the US president's speech as a call for responsible governance instead of reckless leadership. She emphasized that Trump's actions could lead to the country's economic demise.
Trump believes in cozying up to dictators like Vladimir Putin and kicking our friends like the Canadians in the teeth. He sees American leadership as merely a series of real estate transactions. Trump's actions suggest that in his heart, he doesn't believe we're an exceptional nation.
The Washington Post noted that Slotkin is considered a rising star in the Democratic Party. She won the election in Michigan, a swing state where President Trump also won. In her first few weeks in the Senate, Slotkin has sought to establish herself as a moderate voice backed by extensive national security experience. Starmer persuaded Zelenskyy to extend olive branch to Trump. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has helped persuade President Volodymyr Zelenskyy to extend an olive branch to US President Donald Trump following their public spat in the Oval Office last week, reported by The Telegraph. The Telegraph reported that on Tuesday, the 4th of March, Starmer had a phone conversation with Zelenskyy, delivering some hard truth and advising him on what Trump needs to hear before negotiations can resume. Shortly afterwards, the Ukrainian leader posted a lengthy message on X praising the US president's strong leadership, expressing gratitude for military assistance and stating that the spat was regrettable. Zelenskyy stated that he was ready to come to the negotiating table with Trump to sign a minerals deal and expressed his support for a ceasefire at sea and in the air. Zelensky's suggestion came less than 24 hours after news emerged that Trump had suspended military aid to Kyiv. Starmer had a phone call with the US President on Monday, the 3rd of March. The Telegraph citing sources conclude that London and its European allies aimed to leverage the warm relationship with the Ukrainian leader demonstrated at the weekend summit in London to deliver some hard truth to him. The UK government believed there was an urgent need to resolve the dispute, but Westminster is concerned that Zelenskyy's tweet may not suffice as positions in Washington continue to harden. Russian forces launched 3 Iskander-M KN-23 ballistic missiles, 1 S-300 missile and 181 Shahed-type UAVs and decoy drones against Ukraine on the night of the 4th to the 5th of March, reported by Ukrainian Air Force.
On the night of 4th to 5th March 2025, starting at 19:30 on 4th March, the enemy attacked with 3 Iskander-M/KN-23 ballistic missiles from Voronezh Oblast, 1 S-300 surface-to-air missile from Kursk Oblast, and 181 Shahed-type strike UAVs and various decoy drones launched from the Russian cities of Orel, Kursk, Milarovo, Bryansk, Primorsko-Akhtarsk, and Chauda, occupied Crimea.
The Ukrainian Air Force reported that defenders successfully shot down 115 Shahed-type strike UAVs and other drones over Kharkiv, Poltava, Sumy, Chernihiv, Cherkasy, Kyiv, Dnipropetrovsk, Donetsk, Mykolaiv, and Odessa regions. Another 55 Russian drones were lost from radar and failed to reach their targets. Drone strikes caused damage in Kyiv, Kharkiv, Dnipropetrovsk, and Odessa regions. This is beyond outrageous. While Russia ruthlessly bombards Ukraine with ballistic missiles, S-300s, and an unprecedented 181 Shahed drones, some in the West are still hesitant, still debating, still looking for compromises. How many more innocent lives must be lost before the world fully realizes the scale of Russia's terror? Let there be no doubt, Russia will pay for its crimes. Every missile, every drone, every act of barbarity brings it closer to total international isolation and ultimate defeat. Ukraine stands strong and justice will prevail. The only real question is, how long will the world allow this madness to continue? That's all for today. Thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe.